Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. As Bridget had said, my name's Robin Harper. I'm going to be the person kind of to tell you where some resources can be found. So questions that you'll have after were like, does a dash go there, or can I put a dash, or what was that report, or is that a assessment-based measure or a claims-based measure? Hopefully I'll be able to guide you to where some of the resources are to find those. It'll be a little bit different than what we planned because I was going to take you actually into our live SNF QRP website. So I'm going to try to stick with the slides and do the presentation a little bit different than we planned. As Bridget said, my name's Robin Harper. So here's the deal. The screen says Casey Freeman. So if I say anything incorrect or give you the wrong guidance, I'm Casey Freeman. If it goes flawlessly, I'm Robin Harper. So that's the way we're going to go with it today. It's already not going well because it's not going the way I'd planned for it to go on the screen. So, but that's okay. Get the clicker, since I wasn't going to use that at first. Okay. So I'm new to CMS. Just to let you guys know, I come from a survey and certification background. 22 years as a long-term care surveyor. You can't throw anything at me. No leftover lunches thrown at me on the stage. It is what it is. But I came to CMS about 4 months ago. So it's been a good transition, great group of folks to work with, great group of subject matter experts that you guys have to talk to you today. So it's been a great transition. One thing in regards to the acronyms, everybody's told you they're in the front of every presentation. Basically what I've learned so far is I work for CMS, I work in DC PAC, I work with the SNF QRP, and I'll be the MD, having it focus on MDS. Those are the 4 that I've got mastered so far. So I'll continue to learn, but you guys won't be tested on that as we go through, I promise. So that's the first few pages. There's a list there of objectives. So the main objective for this is basically that after I'm done, you're going to have your PowerPoint presentation, whether it's on your computer or whether you've printed them out, but you're going to have them to access at a later date if you do have questions about anything within any of the presentations. I'll show you some of the training links. They're going to be in your PowerPoint slides that you're literally going to be able to access this training, full-blown training, everybody's presentations, everybody's PowerPoints, every question and answer will be posted. It's already posted there from the May training, so you guys will have access to that. So you're not going to be tested at the end. You don't have to remember all this. I have to go through it relatively quickly anyway because I only have 30 minutes to get through it. So the bottom line is whatever you take away is just the fact that you have access to this information once you leave. It's a disclaimer that's in all of the PowerPoint presentations. And I do have one Slido question in this presentation, so just one time you have to do this for me. And I'm kind of interested to see this myself. So it is, how often do you visit the SNF QRP webpage on the CMS website? And believe me, I won't be offended if you say never, because up until 4 months ago, I never even knew what that website was. So please answer honestly for me. Give it just a few seconds. Looks like occasionally, so monthly. But we do have quite a few that have never visited. So hopefully when you walk away from the presentation today, you'll be able to go back. I'm sure you'll go back Monday morning and just spend hours perusing through the websites. You have so much time on your hand, right? Nothing else to do about learning about measures or PDPM or the mega roll in November that's just got turned up on its side, right? So, but the bottom line, like I said, is you'll know how to access this information. These are kind of the web pages that we're going to go through. Again, I'll now have a PowerPoint slide that'll speak about each one of these. But you can kind of see by this slide, there is a wealth of information listed in the SNF QRP webpage. As I said, I'm new, and I'm literally Googling SNF QRP. Probably I should put a little shortcut on my desktop to get me there relatively quickly, but if you just Google SNF QRP, it's the first area that it brings you to, and these are all the areas that you're going to see that are going to be listed in there. So the first one is just the main page. I won't go into a lot of detail on this page because Terry was our first presenter this morning and she already spoke about the Impact Act. So there's a lot of information about what is SNF QRP and what does it mean. And I know I've spoken with a couple people at breaks and a couple people this morning. Just by raise of hands, how many people are new to like the SNF QRP or the MDS world? Do we have new folks? Some people. So this is a great resource because this is where I'm saying I went to as being new even on my end. So the information that we go through hopefully will be a good asset for you guys. So the next one is spotlights and announcements. This is where basically anything that's new, upcoming announcements, this is where you would have gotten an announcement through here for this training. And we'll go through another training link here in just a minute. But anything that's coming up that's new, again, these are where the announcements updates will be listed here so you can access them through this link here. The quality reporting program measures, this is literally where all the measures are going to be listed. So if you have questions about, I'm still learning them myself, you know, what is a assessment-based measure, what is a claims-based measure, all of those information, links, you can see on this, not on that side, but on other slides you'll see where there'll actually be websites, links that you can click within these areas that will take you to other informational areas that you can learn about also. So like right there. So this one's on the measures and technical information page. So again, talking about the quality reporting and program measures, this will take you to the SNF QRP measure calculation. We went through Jen went through a presentation where she talked about risk adjusted. So there's actually manuals. If I could take you to the website, I could take you down and show you a lot of these have multiple areas that you can click on the links to take you to additional information within there. Again, you'll have access to the SNF QRP table for reporting, and you'll have information about the measures new and upcoming for fiscal year 2020. So that new rule is being processed through, so you'll be able to access information. There'll be a link embedded. Again, further down within this website, there'll be a link embedded in there so you can access that. SNF QRP training. This is again where you guys would have registered for the training that you're attending today. The one thing that's nice about this, like I said, if you scroll down the page on the website, all the May training is already posted. There are videos that are posted there about section GG, little video vignettes. There's constantly new video training. So how easy is it for you guys to pack up and come to a 2-day training in Baltimore? Good, right? Good getting approval to even come, right? Getting your state agencies or your provider to pay for your training and pay for your hotel. It's not easy. And you know, kind of the way of the future is a lot of video training and web-based training. So it's nicer, I'm sure, to be able to sit down and do these trainings when it's convenient for you. So if you have 15 minutes, I think there's 5. Of course, I have a broken finger here, so maybe I should use this one. There's 5 trainings that are listed on there, and the total of all 5 of them is 45 minutes. So they don't take long. You know, they say adult learners basically after what, 15, 20 minutes of a webinar, we are done, right? I know I do a lot of webinars, and I can actually see on my screen when people have shut me off and gone to look at something else because their little computer screen goes blank, and I know you're not listening to one thing I'm saying. You've done maneuvered away into another area, right? Right? Everybody knows that trick. Yep, you've done it, right? We all have. So bottom line, you want to be able to do that training when it's convenient for you to do that training. So you'll have access to do that. There is a slide here that lists kind of what I was talking about. All of those presentations, you'll see one section in there. Actually, I don't see it in there, but you'll see one section from May that will include all of the post-training and the questions with answers. So again, you'll have access to literally all of that. Public reporting, again, this is more background information about the SNF QRP. You'll be able to find the quality measures for the SNF QRP, provider preview reports. There's a lot of reports, and I know Jen was covering a lot of the reports and talking about a lot of them, and I think I've seen just with a raise of hands, there's a lot of folks that haven't accessed all the reports that you have access to. And as Jen referenced, there is a ton of good information in there. And, you know, coming from the background, I think we all come from long-term care background. We want to provide the best quality of care for the residents that we can. Those reports are open book test. You know, it's your data, whether you did it right or you did it wrong. Don't you want to know ahead of time, this is a teacher letting you cheat on your test. So you can go in and correct things if you're utilizing the report. They help you with quality of care for your residents. Just like Jen went through the little scenario that we went through. That was what, 10 minutes? And look at what you identified from just utilizing those reports. So great resource with the public reporting and information that's available. Excuse me. We have a lot of FAQs. This one talks about FAQ in the quality reporting area, but we have FAQs in many of the websites that you go through with CMS. The RAI manual has FAQs. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But those are areas that, you know, how many of you know the help desk or utilize the help desk that we have? We have about 60 of them, I think. That's an exaggeration, but we have a lot of help desks. And I sit in on some of the help desk calls, and what I see sometimes is questions that come in that are really already in the RAI manual or in a SNF quality reporting manual. So utilize the resources. Sometimes if you're waiting to code something or waiting to get an answer, probably you're not going to get an answer from the help desk in 5 minutes. It's going to be a little bit before you get that response. So take a look at some of the FAQs. If you've asked that question, there's probably 500 other people that have asked the same question. So take a look at those FAQs that are embedded within there. Data submission deadline. So when you talk about quality reporting and APU, there's certain deadlines. I won't go over all those deadlines because they're literally embedded in this website for you. Probably most of you know them by heart, because what happens with deadlines and deadline submission, and if you don't meet the required 80%, 2% penalty, right? So most of you know all of that information already. But again, there's a resource in here for you guys to access. There's options for reconsideration. So if one of your reports, of course you got to look at the report first to identify if there's any errors. But if you look at those reports and you feel like something is in error, there's an option for reconsideration. There's exceptions and extensions. So things that may happen, natural disaster, hurricane, flooding, whatever the case might be, California wildfires, that's the page you're going to go to. That's the page you're going to go to see how do I file for an extension or reconsideration. So there's a lot of detailed information, guidelines of what you need in that reconsideration and what you can't have, like PHI. If you have any PHI, they're going to automatically throw it out. The RAI manual, that's going to be my focus moving forward. When I hired on and they said, you know, you're going to be working with MDS, and I'm like, I got it. I got this. I look at MDSs every week and survey. How many resident assessments do I go through? What am I looking at it for? I'm looking at it for regulatory guidance, regulatory things that I need to look at. So as I started listening in on calls, participating in contractor calls, participating in the RAI coordinator calls, oh my gosh, did I realize there's a lot more to MDS than I ever realized. So kudos to all of you. I could probably learn a ton from all of you moving forward. So thank goodness for me for this website and the people that I work with every day, because I've tried to pick, you know, every day I only ask this person 5 questions because I can ask this one 5 and this one 5. So they're probably pretty tired of that. But I have this resource. This is where the updated RAI manual will be posted. It's going through clearance right now, so it'll still be a little bit of time. I don't know if folks have that question or not, but when that's posted, everything will be posted. So like the change table, all the pages, replacement pages, all of that information will be posted there for you. SNF QRP help, again, help desk for contacting information for help desk to assist providers and vendors. Again, just basically if you need to ask questions, if you need to troubleshoot some areas, and there's a request guidance and support, a link in there for that also. Archives. Basically, when something gets old, we put it in the archive. But we want to keep it there. Sometimes you need that older information. You want to use it for history or reference or whatever the case might be. So we do maintain the archive files in there. So we'll talk a little bit about the SNF QRP resources. And again, talking about help desks. How many of you utilize the help desks? Yeah? Okay. So there's a lot of them. I'm not sure which ones that you've used in the past, but you can send that information in. Those are not secured. So again, you need to not send in any PHI when you send out that information, or you're likely not going to get a response back because they just pretty much throw it in the trash when it comes in. So make sure you don't have any PHI information in there. These are a little snippet of the help desks that are available to you guys. So we have the SNF QRP. Embedded in there, because I'm going to mention just the MDS coding help desk that we have too. But you'll see like the fourth bullet down for MDS 3.0 coding instructions. If it's specific to Part A PPS discharge assessment and Section GG, you need to go to that SNF QRP webpage. Not to the MDS coding. And I think even if you go to the MDS coding, it ends up going to the right place, but it's good to direct it just for speedy response for you guys to direct it to the appropriate area. SNF QRP public reporting is the next area. The reconsideration process, as I said, I didn't read through that whole page, but it's like 2 pages of information to submit if you are going through that reconsideration process. So make sure that you send that information in. MDS coding, that is what it says it is if you have any coding questions at all. A lot of your coding questions that come in are answered by that group of presenters right back there. So they are a wealth of information, and great educators that you guys are privy to listen to this week. The last area there is Cormac, and they handle questions about APU. So I'll go through these kind of quickly. These are just, again, you have these PowerPoint presentations. I know I'm still very much a paper person. I print everything out. I know people that don't kill trees would not like me. But you either printed them out or you have them electronically so that you can access them. So all of these help desks for the SNF QRP, the SNF QRP public reporting kind of gives you a list underneath there if you're looking at provider preview reports or SNF QRP QMs that are displayed on Nursing Home Compare website, SNF QRP data on datamedicare.gov. Again, information, if you do have questions about the reconsideration process, there's the email and some examples of questions or issues that you might have in regards to that. MDS coding help. We always advise you to reach out to your state RAI coordinator first. They kind of have a system, and often they can answer the question for you. And they have also developed a panel from different state agencies. A select group is together as the RAI panel. So if the coordinators can't answer it, then you can move forward with taking that. They'll move forward with taking that to the panel. And often that's where you're going to get your quickest response. If not, and you can't resolve it, then here's where you come to for MDS coding help. Cormac, I talked about, that's your APU. So again, email information there and examples of questions that you might send in regards to APU. Here's another slide about data.medicare.gov. Again, you can kind of see this is where you might receive information, again, about SNF QRP data in regards to swing bed, the SNF providers, SNF national data. So there's links embedded within all of those for you guys to access. More help desk for you to access. Nursing home compare. So if you have questions in regards to that, the keys or iKeys system, if you have questions, the SNF value-based purchasing system, the SNF PBJ, I'll just make it short, any survey process questions that you might have, again, all of those are listed in there. You're going to have access to them moving forward. There's information about the Nursing Home Compare website. So that would, questions would go to there if you have questions about 5-star or nursing home compare quality measures. So again, the email address or the phone number for that. Keys Technical Support Office Desk. Again, if you need to, all the things that Jen, I think, talked to you about, and a little bit about Deb about accessing those CASPER reports in the Keys system. So this is where you would send information. And I think if you needed a backup person and you needed them to have access, this is the link that you would go to access that. Again, VBP Help Desk, PBJ Help Desk, Nursing Home Survey and Regulation Help Desk. We also have a help desk available for vendors. So if you're a vendor and do we have vendors in the room today? Some vendors. So again, there's a website, a help desk link for vendors to be able to access. So here's the email address for that and examples of what sometimes vendors might send questions in reference to. So the subscribing resources, so these are just some areas that you can sign up for so that you don't have to be in the website all the time. You don't have to come in and look at the spotlight announcements. There's things such as listserv in which we send that information directly out to you. It's quick and easy access. The link is on here for you to get yourself signed up. So if anything new comes out, new and exciting, I know it's all exciting information, right? So if anything comes out, you want to be privy to it. You want to be aware of it first. So that's the information, or that's the website where you can go to get signed up for PAC QRP updates. They just had a SNF open door. Anybody listen to the open door forum? So again, you can get that sent directly to you. So you can put that on your calendar if the content is something that you guys want to participate in. The Medicare Learning Network, again, lots of, you'll see down there with events and training. These are free events, free trainings, free webinars. Free information. So again, you'll get things sent. I get them sent all the time to me. Some of them just go immediately into the trash. Other ones I'm very interested in, and I sign up for them, put them on my calendar, and then I don't get to go anyway because a meeting comes up or something. So, but there is a lot of good information that comes through the MLN section. So in summary, basically, I kind of walked you guys through pretty quickly. I only got the halfway through thing, not the 5-minute or the 1 minute, so I did pretty good. Usually I get kind of windy. So basically, you walked away hopefully knowing that if I Google SNF QRP, I'm going to be able to access a lot of information. So might be a few minutes early. Let's see if I have anything else on there. Oh, record this on your action plan. And then any questions that you guys might have. But I do just want to end with a giant thank you for what you guys do every day. Coming from the SNF or long-term care background, there is not one discipline in a long-term care setting that is an easy job. I don't care whether you're the housekeeper, the maintenance person, the charge nurse, the DON, your jobs are hard and you wear multiple hats. How many just do one thing if you're a provider and you're in your home? How many just do, I'm just the MDS nurse? Number one, don't just say just the MDS nurse, but that doesn't happen. And even if you are the MDS nurse, guess what happens? What happens to you guys? Do you get pulled to the floor? So-and-so, amen, yeah, so-and-so called in sick, and guess who's the first person they're going to pull? So anyway, we applaud you for what you do every day. You don't do it because you make millions of dollars. If you do, please tell me where you're working, because I'd like to have that job. But as I said, I've done it for a long time, and we do it because we care. So we applaud you guys for doing this to make the life for the residents better in the nursing home. So thank you. All done.